when I was so weak. So I was so lucky to have such good people in my life. And I had to fight for my recovery. It wasn't easy. It was not easy. I had to fight and fight and fight. But I'll tell you what, I never gave up. And I live a pretty incredible life today.
Yeah.
You know, I'm married to a woman I absolutely adore, my wife, Jennifer. Best thing that's ever happened to me. She's an incredible, incredible human being.
Amen.
And has made me such a healthier, better man.
Mm-hmm.
I am so blessed for her. And we had our son, Theo, almost a year ago. We started a family, and all byproducts of recovery. And so I'm a huge believer in the power of recovery, the benefits of men getting into recovery, especially as it relates to sexual compulsivity and porn abuse. You know, when you think about my recovery journey, right, I think about it kind of in 3 stages: healthy intimacy, healthy sexuality, and healthy masculinity. Healthy intimacy. First person I had to have an intimate relationship with is myself. I had to get more comfortable with Steve. I had to stop running and numbing. I had to learn to sit with discomfort. I had to learn to really identify the root causes that were driving these compulsions, because porn was not my problem. Steve was my problem.
Wow. Yeah, man. Getting to know yourself. Did you feel like yourself was your self was hidden kind of? Or that yourself had never developed? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think probably both. All I know is I was so uncomfortable in my own skin. You know, I suffered with anxiety. I suffered with depression. I didn't feel good about myself as a man. You know, I had such trouble being in relationships, experiencing love. And I was so disconnected, not only from myself, but from others. And it kind of made sense why I abused pornography. I was just really unhappy.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, you know, the thing that I've learned over the years is that recovery is not about stopping a behavior. Recovery is about building a life you don't need to escape from.
Were you able to notice some of the things that you felt like you were escaping from, that you felt like were kind of sending you in that direction?
Yeah. Right. And I was kind of emotionally unstable. Right. And so part of recovery is being able to regulate your own emotions. Right. Part of people think that recovery looks like this. It doesn't. It looks like a chart of the Dow Jones.
Yeah.
Right. And so I end up doing in recovery is just kind of softening the peaks and valleys so that I could exist in life and, you know, not have to numb the pain of the way I was living my life. And so, you know, part of that involved being able to have a relationship with my sexuality that's beautiful and empowering and made me feel good about myself as a man. That's so missed in recovery circles. Everything is about abstinence. And I get that. There's value in abstinence. But if you truly want to transcend this compulsion, you have to build a life that's more enjoyable, more purposeful than the life you were living.
Right.
Or else you're going to be vulnerable to returning to it. So part of that means dude, Steve, you've got to learn how to be in a relationship. You got to learn how to experience the joys of your sexuality. You have to learn how to experience meaningful connection in order to truly transcend this compulsion.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny you're saying this, because I was thinking the other day, it's one thing to kind of refrain from things, right? Like I'm refraining from drugs and alcohol, and I'm refraining from things that I'm addicted to. But it's another thing, but if you don't have a life outside of that, then you're just sitting there playing defense all the time.
That's correct.
I was just thinking about that the other day. Somebody's like, well, what do you like to do? And I'm like, you know, well, my hobbies became my jobs. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta find some things to fall in love with.
Yeah.
I gotta find and there's so many things.
How about a great woman?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that
would be awesome.
I would, hey.
Just saying.
I'm down. But yeah, I see exactly what you're saying.
I live a life today where I don't need pornography. I don't need alcohol. I don't need drugs. You know, this is a journey around really healthy masculinity. You know, for so much of my life, my behaviors were not in alignment with my values.
Yeah.
And I suffered.